Right, welcome back. Dr. Ahmad Badr, our tourism expert, is joining us as our guest this afternoon. Dr. Ahmad, good afternoon to you, sir.
Well, good afternoon to you. Just your voice is so far I can't hear you.
Apologies, Dr. Ahmad. We seem to be having a bit of a technical issue, but I hope you can hear me better now. Let me first start by thanking you for joining us on today's edition of Cairo Local Time. And Dr. Ahmad, the first quarter of this year has witnessed growth in the volume of the incoming tourist traffic to Egypt by about 3 to 4% compared to the first quarter of 2023, which was a good record year for tourism in Egypt. What indication do these statistics give you, and what do they mean?
Well, can you hear me now?
Yes, doctor, clearly.
Okay. Well, yes, we have witnessed some good numbers and more demand for Egypt for tourism this year, 2024. Actually, we were expecting a very high season. This season that started last October, numbers were very promising, and there were very, very, very positive feedback and very, very positive demand for Egypt.
Yes.
But then the war in Gaza came, and of course it affected our numbers in Egypt and all around the region. And we all know that tourism is affected highly with political situation and with security situation in any region, so it affects the tourism directly. Nobody wants to travel in a region that is not stable. We know that it's out of our borders, but still people were a bit afraid. But then when things started to, people started to, let's say, get used to it, and the situation started to calm down a little, especially with the Egyptian efforts on this matter, and having peace back to the region and ceasefire. So people started to book again Egypt, especially with some new markets and some old markets that they were out of competition for a while for a reason or another, like Chinese market. They were out for the reason of COVID. Chinese were not allowed to travel out of China for quite a bit of time, but now they're back, and they're back in a very positive way, and we have a high demand from Chinese market. Also some other markets that they come, they know the region is safe and Egypt is safe, and they go for places that are totally far from the conflict, like European markets, Italian and German markets. They go to Red Sea, this conflict, and of course Arabs were doing very well this season, coming to Egypt. For them, it's very close. It's and now with the exchange rate for them, Egypt will be a very good value for money. So yes, all of these things together came to have very good numbers of tourism to Egypt. Hopefully next season, that will start next October, things will be back to normal, and this war will be ended. So we'll witness a very high demand to Egypt next season, hopefully.
Indeed. Now, Dr. Ahmad, of course, as you said, lots of effort has been done on part of the Egyptian government, as well as the Ministry of Tourism, as well as the Supreme Council of Antiquities, which has recently witnessed some financial reform. What are some of the measures done to maximize, increasing the volume of the Council's revenues as a scientific institution as well, improving their role and the role of the Supreme Council of Antiquities in providing expenditure, maintenance of archaeological sites and museums, work to preserve them as well as promote them for visitors?
Well, they have, of course, one of the main things will be the Grand Egyptian Museum, which will be a grand opening that everybody all around the world is waiting for and anticipating this great event. This will be it would be well, there is not, I don't know how to say it, but it would be something like the big fuss that that happened after the Golden Mummies parade, that all the world was talking about it. This would be even bigger.
Absolutely.
And hopefully it will be soon. So this would be a great add to the Egyptian tourism portfolio, and also having all the other places and sites that are being, some of them are being, they're adding some other extra services to it around it. I mean, having it more accessible for, the disabled tourists, and for make it more attractive for children and for families. All these things together for the historical tourism will make it more appeal to more and more of tourists, not just young tourists, but if we have disabled, more friendly for disabled persons, so that means more tourists or for families or for so yes, they are doing some good steps in this direction.
Absolutely. Dr. Ahmad, how do you see, the importance of the diversification of tourism in Egypt that we've witnessed over the last few years? We have diversified, the tours available, no longer just sticking to beach or cultural or ancient Egyptian tourism, but lots of different opportunities for different kinds of tourism, catering for different kinds of visitors from all around the world. We're talking about religious, sports, conference, health tourism, environmental tourism. How do you see this diversification working to further enhance the tourism experience in the country?
Of course, the more kinds of tourism you have, the more tourists you will have. So you have people that are interested in history and culture, which we are, of course, very rich and very famous for. Then you have others looking more into beaches and relaxation.
Yes.
And this also you have. And then you have people who are looking for some adventures, or looking for food tours, or looking for religious tours, or coming for medical care. So there are so many things that we can do, and we can have our portfolio of tourists growing more and more. It just we need to market them all around the world, that we have these kinds of tours. Shopping, before I forget, shopping, of course, one of the main, shopping and entertainment, there are some cities and some countries around the world that their tourism is based on just these two things, entertainment and shopping, and they have millions of people going there. So now people travel just to shop and to entertain themselves and to attend concerts and parties and go to parks, things like Disneyland and this. So by having more and more, then we can have more tourists. It just we need, again, the right marketing campaign for it, and also all the services around them. So because if we want to have 30 million tourists, we need to double all our assets. I mean, hotels, aircraft, buses, everything. We need to double them to be able to double the tourists come to Egypt. We can have more, even more than 30 million, just to how to market this, how to reach this, and also increase the services and the attractions for different kinds of tourists.
Absolutely. On that note, I'd like to thank you very, very much, Dr. Ahmad Badr, our tourism expert. Thank you so much for your time and your insight on today's edition of Cairo Local Time. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break, and we'll be back. Stay tuned.